What's up, everybody? So, if you're like me, you're very, very much anticipating F1. I mean, I've seen a bunch of the trailers, I've seen some behind the scenes stuff, and this movie looks absolutely incredible. You know, it's the, it looks like what the Stallone movie Driven probably should have been, but for a myriad of different reasons, it's just not that good of a movie. But I'm looking forward to this. Brad Pitt's awesome. It's got Joseph Kosinski, and if that name is not familiar to you, then you know, go and watch Top Gun Maverick. Go watch Oblivion. I mean, the dude knows how to do action. Now, another question I had as soon as I found out that Joseph Kosinski was doing this movie, I thought to myself, why isn't Tom Cruise? Why isn't it Brad Pitt instead of Tom Cruise? Because to me, in my mind, it's like, look, Tony Scott did the first Top Gun, then he did Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise too. So it's like, okay, so they're making Joseph Kosinski does Top Gun Maverick, and now Days of Thunder sequel is kind of in development. So I guess maybe they'll get him to do it as well. I mean, he definitely has an eye. I mean, that dude's visual style is incredible. I love watching, those movies that he's done so far. Except for the one he did with Chris Hemsworth. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. But so Kosinski did an interview recently, and he said something that was so obvious that I wondered why I never thought of it myself. And he said the reason why he prefers Brad Pitt to be in this movie is because if it was Tom Cruise, then he would have been way too terrified. Because Tom Cruise, as he says himself, pushes it to the limit. And if you've seen Top Gun Maverick, those shots where you see, it's kind of a frontal shot and you see Tom Cruise in the cockpit of those planes, that's not green screen behind it. He is really flying those fighter jets. He's a trained pilot for, I think ever since he did Top Gun, he's been taking flying lessons and, just getting more and more competent and more able to fly more, different types of planes. And a fighter jet is one of them. So if he is going to definitely be inside the cockpit of a real fighter jet, you really think he's going to have a stunt double be in the driver's seat of an F1 racing car? Hell no, that is absolutely going to be him doing those racing sequences. And yeah, he's definitely going to have, people on set, just hearts in their throats, just nervous as can be, because of the kinds of actor and entertainer that he is, So yeah, it makes sense, but at the same time, I would have preferred Tom Cruise to be in it Anyways, what about you guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button, give me a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.